I hope you all are doing good. I welcome you all back for our online computer class. Dear children, are you all ready with your textbook right now? Okay, I hope you practiced whatever I have taught you in the previous class and you're ready to learn new concept today, isn't it? Okay, dear children, I want all of you to take your textbook and turn to chapter 6. Okay, so already we have completed 5 chapters in your computer textbook. So we're going to start a new chapter, chapter 6 in your textbook. So turn to chapter 6. Okay, so it's in page number 80, 80. Okay, so chapter 6 starts on page number 80 and the topic of your 6th chapter is loops and graphics in small basic. Okay, loops and graphics in small basic. So far we have been learning small basic application, right? So we have learned many things in that, how to create a program and what are some of the features, and we have learned about how to create algorithms, isn't it? And also a flow chart for creating a program, how they are important, all these things we have learned. And today we are going to learn what are loops and graphics in small basic application. Okay, so dear children, I hope you are familiar with the word loops, isn't it? So already you might have learned in the lower class in computer what are loops in programming. So loops are continuous execution of a particular statement. Okay, so if you want to execute a particular statement continuously until a particular condition is met, okay, so then that way of instructing a computer is called loops. And graphics are familiar, isn't it? The animations and the other human like features, or whatever cartoon things, or okay, so animations, in simple terms you could call animations, are called graphics, isn't it? So this will help the user to learn or interact with the computer in an interesting way. Okay, it will attract the user, so that is why graphics are used. Okay, so we're going to learn these two concepts now. Okay, now in small basics you have only two looping statements. Okay, so the firstly have for and for looping statement. Okay, this statement for and for. The second looping statement is while and while. Okay, the purpose of these two statements are unique. Okay, so they have their own purpose. Okay, so let's learn what are their uses and why they are used in small basic. Okay, so this for and for looping statement is easy to create. Okay, it's very easy to create a loop. This statement is used when you know the number of times a particular statement should be executed. Okay, so I already told you looping statements are used to execute a particular statement again and again. Okay, so if you know the number of times, okay, for example, you want a particular statement to be executed 5 times, so the total number of execution is 5. Yes, isn't it? So if you know the total number of execution, okay, the number of execution, number of times, then you will be using this for and for looping statement. Whereas while and while looping statement is used when you don't know the number of times a particular statement should be executed. Okay, so that is the major difference between for and while looping statements. Okay, you understood, dear children? So let's see a program. Okay, for example, this is not a entire program, this is part of a program, only the looping statement is given here. See, in a program, if you this is the way you should declare the looping statement inside a small basic program. Okay, so you should declare like for a equal to 1 to 5. Okay, so this is condition. Okay, so this is the condition. This means the number. So in this place you are actually mentioning the number of times. Okay, so it is not necessary that you should use only a here. Any variable, any alphabets you can use here, or else you can use even words like some, or you can assign any words here. Okay, this is variable. We have already learned about variable, right? So variable is a meaningful name, and also it denotes a memory location to store a particular data, isn't it? So it should be meaningful name. Either it could be alphabets, or it can be any name like sum or average or anything like that. Okay, so here they have assigned a as a variable, and they have given a value to a. So that is 1 to 5. 1 to 5 means start 1 is the initial value. Okay, so initially the value of a is 1, and it should be executed 5 times. So that is why this is the end value. This is the starting value and this is the ending value. Okay, so that you will represent in the first line. Okay, so what your computer will do, it will first come and read this line. It will check for a equal to 1 to 5. So it will check whether the a value, this a value is given by the user. Okay, so when the program is executed, in the output screen you will give this a value. Okay, so now if you give 1, it will check a value is 1. Okay, so this is true, this is correct. So then it will go to the next line. So inside this is called the statement. Okay, so this is called statement. This is conditional statement. For is conditional statement, and if this condition is true, it will execute this statement. Okay, so what statement is your text window dot write line a. So what is the meaning of this statement? We have already learned this. What is the meaning of this? This means you are going to write something in the output screen. That is the thing, isn't it? So your computer will understand that it want to display something in the output screen, want to write something. Okay, so it will check what is inside the bracket. So what is inside the bracket will be written by your computer. So what is inside the bracket? A. What is the value of a? It will check. So initially you have given a is equal to 1. So 1 will be printed. Okay, then it will go again to the for loop. Until this condition is false, again it will go to the for loop. Okay, now what will happen is, since a is given 1 to 5, after 1, the second time it will be incremented by 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So now the a value is 2. Okay, so 2 is also not the end value. 2 is what? 2 is less than 5, isn't it? It is not the end value. So again the statement will be executed. Now the value of a is 2, 2 will be printed. Okay, now one more increment. 2 plus 1, 3. Okay, so end value is not 3, it is less than 3. So this condition is met. Again it will print the value of a. Now a value is 3, so 3 is printed. Until a value is 5, okay, the a value will be printed in the screen. Okay, so look at this picture. So this is how your output screen will look like. First the value of a is 1, 1 is printed, 2, 3, 4, 5 is printed. And again it will go and check. After 5, one more increment. 5 plus 1 is 6. Okay, so it will go and check. But 6 is greater than the end value. So this condition will become false. Okay, so end value is 5. So if it is greater than the end value, then the statement will not be executed. Okay, so till the end value it will check again and again, and the statement will execute it, and the value will be printed in the output screen. You got? So this is how your output screen will look like. You understood now how this for and for statement executes? Okay. Now another example. Now look here, this is the stepwise condition. Now this is what I explained you. So I want all of you to read this in your house. Okay, I just explained you the same thing that is in the this table. Okay, so you read this and surely you will understand. Listen to my explanation and read this table, surely you will understand. Okay, then Another way in declaring this for loop, okay, so for and for loop, okay, is by giving steps instruction. Okay, steps instructions in the sense, if you want the increment, I told you already that the initial value will be set by you. If a is equal to 1, then initial value is 1, okay, and the end value is also set by you, okay, but if you want to increment more than 1 for each loop, for each execution, okay, so first, second, so you have stepwise increment, right, stepwise execution. For each step, if you want to increment the value of a more than 1, okay, usually in the previous, okay, in the previous example, a value will be incremented only by one value. One value is extra. 1 plus 1, 2 plus 1, 3 plus 1. So plus 1, that plus 1 will be 1. More than 1 is not done in the previous example. But now if you want to increment more than 1, okay, then step value should be represented. That is called step value. So here you can give the number in which the initial value should be incremented. For example, if you want to add 1 plus 3, then 3 should be here. Then 1 plus 3 is 3. So again the next time when it executes, the along with 3 another 3 will be added. So 3 plus 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. Then 6 plus 3. 6 plus 3 is 9 and 9 plus 3. Okay, until it reaches less than 20 or equal to 20. Okay, the statement will be executed. You understand? And another thing is step value could be in minus, in negative sign also. Okay, so if you want step value should be negative sign, then the initial value should be greater than or equal to the step value. Okay, so you should keep in mind, if you are using negative sign for step value, then the initial value should be greater than or equal to the step value. Okay, that is the condition. Remaining all things are as usual. And you can also give point values for step value. Okay, so if you give 0.5 or 0.10, 0.15, anything, okay, 0.5, 0.10, okay, so that value will be incremented with the initial value. So 1 plus 0.5 is 1.5. So 1.5 plus 0.5 is 2.0. So until it meets the end value, okay, until it is less than or equal to end value, the statement will be executed. Okay, for all these examples, the output is given here. See, you can check the output, and if you want, you can also try in your small basic application. Okay, so now they have given one example. You need to print sum of first n natural numbers. Here n is the variable, and this n is chosen by you. N is any number. Okay, you can give 50 or 100 or 10 or 20. Okay, so that is your wish, your opinion. So first n means, so if you are giving n as 10, then 1 to 10. If you are giving 50, 1 to 50. Okay, so that should be printed in the screen, and the sum of all the numbers, sum means addition of all the numbers, should be printed. So for that you need to write a program. How will you write? Okay, so the solution is given here. First you should give the number, till which number you should print. Okay, so the n value should be assigned, isn't it? So for that you are giving this command, write, enter the number. And if you give a number, then for that number you need a variable, right? You need a memory location to store that number. So you are giving number. This number is the variable name. This is where your given number will be stored. Okay, so your computer will read this first line and it will check where the number is stored. Okay, so that number will be read by your computer. So you are giving the number, so the computer should read that number, isn't it? So here read number statement is given. Okay, now a statement called s equal to 0 is given. Okay, s represents sum. Okay, sum only is asked in the program, isn't it? Sum should be printed there. Okay, so initially you are giving s equal to 0. Then the condition is your for statement. For I equal to 1 to number. Okay, initially the I value is set to 1 and the end value is number. Number is the number that you have given initially. So if you are giving initially 10, okay, so 1 to 10 should be printed. So here the value of number is 10. That means I equal to 1 to 10. Okay, if you have given initially 50, then I equal to 1 to 50. Okay, so that is the meaning of this for statement. Then after checking the statement, it will go to the next line. The computer will read the next line and there it is given, it needs to print the value of I. So initially the value of I is 1, so initially I will be printed, and since step value is not mentioned here, it will be incremented by 1. Okay, and you also have one more statement inside the for loop. The statement is s equal to s plus I. Okay, so now s value will also be incremented. So how it will be incremented? It will be incremented with the value of I. Okay, so if the I value is 1, it will be incremented by 1. 0 is the initial value of s, so 0 plus I value is 1, 0 plus 1 is 1. Okay, so now s value becomes 1. Okay, so again it will go and check the for loop. Now I value is incremented by 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2. So 2 is also should be less than the end value if it is 10. Okay, so it is less than 10, isn't it? I is less than 10. So again I will be printed. So value 2 will be printed. Again s value will be incremented. Okay, so now until it meets this end value number, until it becomes less than or equal to number, the statement will get executed. Okay, so number, if for example if I take 10, okay, you can give any value, that is your wish. If you take 10, so till 10 it will be printed. Look at this output screen. So 10 values are there. Okay, then after that it is mentioned text window of dot write line. After printing all these 10 numbers, okay, it will go to the next line. Here write line statement is given. Okay, so inside write line there is, so see, initially it is mentioned like in text window or write line there is nothing inside this double quotation. It means that you are giving a space. Okay, it means that it is like enter key. After 10 the next line should be empty. So that is why here empty space is given. In the next line again another write line statement is there. There it will be printed sum of first. Okay, the first it will be printing, your computer will print whatever is within this double quotation. So sum of first will be printed, then plus is used to give a space, and number is the initial, this value, okay, the value that you are giving, 10 you are giving here, right? So that will be printed here. Then natural numbers will be printed, and s value. What is the s value? S value is the final s value. Okay, so now after printing all the 10 numbers, your s value will be the sum of all the 10 numbers. Okay, so that will be printed here. So look at the output screen. Enter the number 10. So 1 to 10 is printed. One line is left empty. The next line, sum of first 10 natural numbers is equal to 55. When you add all this, you will get 55. Okay, so this is how your output screen will look like. Okay, you understood, dear children? So today I want all of you to try this in your small basic application. Okay, and check your output. Instead of this 10, you give any other number. 11 also can give, 5 also, 50, 100, any number, even 1000 also you can give. Okay, so the sum of all these numbers will be displayed here. Okay, try this out today and check whether you get the answer or not. Okay, so the next looping statement is while and while looping statement. Okay, so as I've already told you, this is also similar to for loop statement, but the difference is here you will have the you will not know what is the end value. Okay, so here end value is unpredicted, you can able to see. Okay, so what your computer will do is check every line. Okay, so in other words, you could able to say that in for loop, the condition, in the condition you will not know until which number or until which number your program will be executed, isn't it? Your statement will be repeatedly executed, whereas in while statement you are clear with the end value. Okay, so the initial value is given and the end value will be very clear. Okay, until this condition becomes false. Okay, it will the statement will be executed. Okay, so first a variable called number is assigned and the value is given as 1 to number, and in while loop number is less than or equal to 15, this condition is given. Okay, so if the value of number is less than or equal to 15, the next line will be printed. Okay, the number will be printed. So that is what is given here. Okay, then number is equal to number plus 4. So the increment value is mentioned in the next line. Okay, in while loop this is how you should mention. So in for loop you will mention step value here, whereas in while loop you will mention in the next line. Now number value will be incremented by 4. So 1 plus 4 is equal to 5. Okay, so it will check whether 5 is less than or equal to 15. Yes, it is true. So 5 will be printed. Okay, then 5 plus 4. 5 plus 4 is 9. So it will check again, 9 is less than or equal to 15. Yes, it is true. So 9 is printed. Okay, then again plus 4. So 13. 13 also is less than 15, it will be printed. Then plus 4. So 13 plus 4 is how much? 17. 17 is less than 15? No, isn't it? So it becomes false. So it will not be printed. Your statement will be exited. Okay, it will come out of the loop. So this loop will be exit, end while. It will come to end while. Okay, so this is the stepwise execution of the given program. Read this tabular column today. Okay, understood, dear children? Then they have given one more example. Okay, so this example is little you need more explanation for this. So today I am not going to confuse you with with this. Okay, so I'll be explaining you this in detail in next video. Okay, in next class. Because if I take this, already you have learned a new concept today, so it will confuse you today. So I don't want to confuse you today. I want all of you to practice whatever we have learned today, so that when I take this example program, then you can able to understand it clear. Okay, so in the next video I'll explain you in detail this program. Okay, so that is all for today, dear children. I want all of you to practice this, read this programs once again, whatever we have learned today. Okay, so don't forget to read. It is similar to mathematics. Okay, programs are similar to mathematics. Okay, only if you practice it, you could able to understand the concept. Okay, that is all for today, dear children. Thank you. Have a great day.